Mike Ryan and Jessica and me are getting crushed on X. David AN 000056938 writes, bro, an hour of NIL talk on a Monday local hour? Come on. And then who climbs into the comment section? Emmy-winning Jeremy Taché, saying, after a Jimmy Butler buzzer beater over the weekend, nonetheless, give the people what they want, LeBatard Show. More of me talking about the Heat. Actually used bloviating about the Heat. That's right, Jessica. Jeremy Taché, it's all gone to his head, and he thinks we should consult with him immediately when Jimmy Butler hits a game winner. All I saw was him shrieking into cameras over the weekend. He's got no interest in being an objective journalist.
When you first said Jeremy, I was like, oh no, Jeremy's going to come to our defense and crush this commenter. And it was Jeremy agreeing with the commenter.
Can you respond to Jeremy that I'm glad they finally beat the Bulls? It's a big dub. Couldn't afford to get swept by them this season.
How did we find and hire a greater homer than Mike Ryan on the Miami Heat? I don't understand.
Cortez on Pablo Torre finds out.
Stugotz, I have a story to present to you that I am stunned, legitimately stunned, was not covered on God Bless Football, and it had Billy written all over it. I believe that Billy is the biggest Jameis Winston fan that there is anywhere in sports media. I don't believe that someone is as beloved by other media members as Jameis Winston is by Billy.
I don't know that I want that attached to my name.
Maybe
I'd say
I want it.
I'm an admirer of some of his moments.
He's the best.
Let's see the latest here. The Saints beat up Tommy DeVito and his green jacket and suit wearing agent 24-6. Derek Carr check downed his way all the way down the field.
They're in the mix, though, Dano.
And Jameis Winston is the greatest hype man in the league, is he not? There is not a backup quarterback who has more positive energy than Jameis Winston. And now, this might seem to you a little bit of a hackneyed moment. In an empty arena, in an empty Superdome, Jameis Winston is walking down the sidelines with a briefcase. That is not where not a single player has ever entered the stadium that way.
Before the game.
That is not how it's an empty stadium, but no one enters the stadium by walking physically on the sideline with a briefcase. What is happening here, Billy?
Well, also, and I don't want to be the person that's like overanalyzing this, but if you see the way that it starts, I feel like he was counted down to start walking. It's not like we got this like mid-walk. It very much
Like he
seems
starts walking when the video
Yeah,
starts.
it's like the old Skip Bayless when you see him hanging out in his hallway before he turns the corner to throw away his Cowboys jersey. Did he do that yet today?
Yes, he did it again. Yes.
Did he really?
I think
I was joking about
that. No, I think I saw him trending, so I assumed he did it again.
Well, so for those of you at home who are wondering what is Jameis doing, he's walking with a briefcase that was to be used as motivation. So everybody, of course, is like, well, what's in this briefcase?
Stugotz.
How is he going to motivate people with this briefcase? What's going on here?
For the record, I just want people to understand that this is Jameis Winston, and the brand of Jameis Winston is putting out a video where he is being the master motivator, making a commercial on behalf of how it is that he's inspiring the Saints to a victory over Tommy DeVito and his agent.
Correct. Now, when I saw this, I was like, I didn't know Jameis was starting. I guess something happened to Derek Carr. He's hurt again, whatever. And no, Jameis isn't starting. He's just decided that this is his job on the team, is to motivate people. And I think that he thinks he's the team captain. So he's decided that I will be the one to motivate everyone. So
by making videos for us, not for them. This video is not for them, is it?
No, I don't think that I assume that someone just caught him out in the wild walking with his briefcase.
This is very clearly him just walking from his car on his way to the Saints locker
through the
room.
fields.
Yes.
I'm imagining that the briefcase is filled with little hearts, and he's going to go around the locker room and hand a heart to everybody.
I like this. So
Here's
for everyone,
more heart for you.
Okay, weird. I like this. For everyone who doesn't know what was in it, tell us what you think was in the briefcase. Stugotz, what do you think was in the briefcase?
I would say, I don't want to say hearts, but I would say little motivational notes that he hands out to players.
You got this.
Motivational notes.
Yeah.
Jess, do you know what's in there? Then you can't play. Okay, you can't play. Mike, do you know what's in there?
Well, I know too, but I was still playing the game.
Good job.
I also know, but I would have guessed money. I would have the money of some sort, just cash, straight cash, coming in as a mercenary.
So Stugotz, he went and he gave an impassioned motivational speech to the Saints where everyone was wondering what's inside this briefcase.
What's in the box?
And he opened it, and there was nothing inside. And he said, that's what's in between us and greatness. Nothing.
Goosebumps.
Goosies.
I mean,
That's what's between us and 8-8.
nothing.
It's not crazy, though. They're right in the hunt.
Yeah, of course. Another half a team running out
They have
there.
a big game against the Rams this week.
They do massive games.
Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
They're a weird team, huh?
It's a weird league.
Yeah, it is. A lot of bad quarterbacks. A lot of hurt quarterbacks.
Was Derek Carr one of the good ones?
Yeah, no. Did you see that?
No,
like,
that's the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, no is the answer.
He was good yesterday.
Yeah, of course. That's why it says yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
That's why
I think
it's
all the-
yeah, no.
all the division leaders. No, this could be just a kooky year, but all the division leaders just so happen to have their quarterbacks healthy all year, and that seems to be what's separating them.
That's funny. Nothing, in other words.
Trevor Lawrence gets a pass because he's playing in Jacksonville, right?
Yeah, what happened
Like,
with
no
that?
one cares.
What happened with that Calvin Ridley thing? That seemed like it was a touchdown. Could have used that. I fell asleep though.
I feel like when you're rookie season, Urban Meyer's your head coach, you get like a couple more years to.
But for how long?
He has gotten an awfully long pass, even with the Urban Meyer stuff, because he did enter the league with the hype that surrounded one of those can't miss guys.
He looks the part, physically gallops, has the flowing hair, dying to be a star. Like hey, here it is for you, Trevor. Like that, you can have the whole league. The young people are taking over the league. It's Tom Brady's out, Roethlisberger's out, Aaron Rodgers is old. Here it is. Here's the entire league. Oh, C.J. Stroud stepped ahead of you in line.
Have I been the only person? I've had a real hard time trying to figure out what the Jags are for a couple of years now. I can't make heads or tails of them. This year, I thought that, okay, it seems like they're struggling against good defenses. And Baltimore is a good defense, but they had a bunch of injuries on that side of the ball, 2 starting safeties out. So I thought, okay, surely with the bright lights, with your team needing to win right here, you'd perform well, but he didn't.
Bold take. He's got to cut the hair.
The reason,
I don't know.
the reason I'm surprised
take.
Fits his face.
that
No, he
yeah,
needs to
he's
cut
got
it.
a lot of
It's-
surface area.
It's
on
too
his
look at
face.
him.
No, his face.
It's not
would be-
about you.
His face would be way too long with any other haircut.
Agreed. Yes.
I need
Remember when Herbert cut his hair?
Oh, the
That was
worst. The
terrible.
worst. He should have fired his agent immediately.
You got to zag
And
though.
Corbin.
I'm
Brandon
telling
Staley
you.
should have been fired immediately when
100%.
Justin Herbert.
Chris,
cut
you're
his
saying
hair.
you have to do something to change it up.
I think
right?
if they, fart this season away,
Right.
maybe they make the playoffs, but
Cut
they don't
the
make
hair.
it far. He shows up to training camp, cut hair.
I believe he's in concussion protocol, so.
If I may, just real quick, because I do think this is something that happens nationally where you hold previous regimes against Lamar Jackson. Like we've seen a lot of Lamar Jackson playoff football, and it began, Stugotz, with him going like 3 televised hours without completing a playoff
Right.
pass. Because you understand that the position, when it shakes as to what it is, he has defied a lot of people who thought he was just a wide receiver. And I believe that people underregard the Ravens because of that past without accounting for. The Ravens have mauled everybody, and they have been ahead in all of their games. Like the games they've lost are weird fourth quarter or second half stuff, but physically, offensively, and defensively, they're the 49ers. Like they ravage people up front, and then Lamar Jackson is just still more of an athlete than everyone else. But the Ravens deserve the classification of what they did to the Lions, no one does to them. Okay?
Right.
Like San Francisco, when they were injured, Cincinnati went in there. But what San Francisco does to the Cardinals, no one can do to the 49ers when they're healthy. And it's the same is true of the Ravens.
But the Ravens have losses to the Steelers, to the Colts, to the Cleveland Browns, and I don't blame people for not trusting Lamar Jackson until they see him do it in the postseason. I get it. I understand that.
I understand it too. But what I'm saying is you're holding the past against Lamar Jackson in the playoffs when this version, Stugotz, he's never had Flowers, Beckham, and I don't know what Andrews' status is, but he's got more help. Like Flowers is a legitimate number one. It's not Hollywood Brown anymore.
Right.
Like that's a legitimate number one he's got. And so Beckham can get you for 100 yards because he's your second receiver and he's getting behind your secondary. Like That team is legitimately and
Well, they don't
obviously
They
good.
don't have Mark Andrews. They have Isaiah Likely in there, and I don't think
Let
that
a
they're.
big cash yesterday.
Yeah, I actually
Last
don't.
night.
I'm not as high on their surrounding talent. I do think Zay Flowers is nice, but he's also a rookie, and it's hard to have huge impact at that position your rookie year. Though he's been pretty good. Odell getting into health, but they have like this 3-headed running back attack. Keaton Mitchell picked up a knock last night, and that looks like it's going to hurt them.
But no
So-
Andrews is big for them.
No, Andrews is massive. That was
Yes.
his primary target. So, like last night, if you want to restart an MVP conversation and have someone join Brock Purdy in the conversation, considering Dak laid an egg, Lamar is just as good as anybody.
Andrews is out for the year, correct?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I'm looking at what it is that the Ravens are doing, Stugotz, you say that they have those 3 losses, 2 bad teams, and we can do that to San Francisco too.
Oh, Dan, you could do it to every single team.
Okay, but what I'm saying to you, when you talk about point differential and specifically what happened to the Lions when they went in there, and when we talk about game managers, Lamar Jackson's not in that conversation. Cam Newton's excluding him because the stardom they have at quarterback. I too wonder, Stugotz. I wonder what it's going to look like in the playoffs. But what I'm telling you is that physically what he's got around him is what Philadelphia and San Francisco have had around them the last couple of years, where you've got a team that's more menacing than the other teams. They go into Jacksonville and they drag Jacksonville.
Right, 23-7. The game against Detroit was at Baltimore. They blew out, the
But
Lions.
I'm saying no one does that to the Ravens. You can't do that to the Ravens. They may lose those games, but those games are going to be close. That team is the next best thing to San Francisco, and obviously. Stugotz, my brother saw the world, traveled the world because he worked for Park West, and much of his art appeared on cruise ships, and he loved traveling that way the Codys loved traveling that way, where you just throw your bags in a room and it bounces from place to place, and over 3 days or 7 days, you can see things without having to change hotel rooms. It's a very convenient way to travel if you don't mind that the pizza at midnight's not great in the buffet.
How dare you? The
And-
pizza at midnight at the buffet is incredible.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju, at LeBatard Show. Is the cruise ship pizza buffet incredible?
I fall somewhere in the middle there.
Yes, I think Billy.
You're
There's no
hammered,
middle.
though.
There's
Right.
no middle ground here.
Dan's like, it's crap.
It's not
Billy said,
incredible.
it's amazing.
It is
It's
not-
pizza.
It's dessert. It's
food at midnight when you're drunk.
Right, I lean towards the Billy side. I'm not
Okay.
complaining,
No,
but
but
It's
wait
not
a
just
minute.
midnight. I could go at 4:20 in the afternoon. I could go at 7:31 if I want. There's always pizza at the
yeah,
ready.
But these people that want to order the entire pie, like, hey,
Get outta
take 2
here.
or 3 slices. People walk up to that thing at 3 a.m. and they're like, I'll take 2 pies, please. There's a line of 14 people behind you.
So?
How about we all get our slice?
No.
And then if there's extra, you can have your GD pie.
Extra, there are more pies coming out. What are you talking
2
about?
slice maximum and then back of the line.
Oh, get
Start
outta
over
here.
again. Yeah. Yeah.
The pizza is kind of in the realm of gas station pizza or microwave pizza. It is.
How about bowling alley pizza?
Maybe. All right, put it on the poll at LeBatard Show. Worst pizza: bowling alley pizza, gas station pizza, or cruise ship pizza.
Next, you're going to complain about the soft serve by the pool? Yeah. Get
No,
outta
the
here.
soft serve
Oh,
is
the
okay,
best.
but
Yeah.
but not the best. Not the
What are you
best.
talking about?
The best.
It's always there for you.
The best.
The best.
So like Cold Stone, the best. Like, no, you don't. You sound like a fool.
No, it is the
It is
best.
not the
There's
best.
nothing like walking around dripping wet, shirtless.
I mean, it's just
coming straight out
asinine
of the
what you're
pool
saying.
to go get a cone that you need to eat very quickly because your hand is melting the cone. Because again, it's wet because you were just in a
It's
pool.
always a sad line, too, because it's all kids and then me. And it's just like, this is awkward. Like, I'm like standing behind a 7-year-old and an 8-year-old in line.
Right.
Just like, I'm here for ice cream, too.
But the best, right?
The Codys, not the best. You're
Why is that asinine? I mean,
Well, where's the best soft serve ice cream,
Right.
Dan?
You
Where
tell
is
us.
it? You tell us.
I
so
said
we can
I
go
mentioned
there.
I can mention a number of ice creams that are better than the soft serve on a cruise ship that gets belted out like chocolate diarrhea on a too cheap cone because it's like the cheapest mass ice cream that can possibly be produced. That's probably from canned milk because it's not very good at all. It's just how much can I make for 3,000 people quickly and have an endless supply of Flume of bacteria curded milk.
There's
When
no
you look at
bacteria.
it that way.
I mean, the person doing it is wearing gloves. And
There's
then
no
they hand
time
it
for
to me.
bacteria to
Right.
form. It's
Yep.
constantly moving.
They don't let us swirl. Like, you can't do your own cone anymore. There's a person there. They take the cone. They ask you swirl, chocolate, vanilla. They do it for you. They hand it to you. I'm like, can you throw a little more on there?
Have you ever wondered why it is it's melting inside of 6 seconds? Because the consistency is shit. It is some of the
Global
world's
warming.
worst
It's also hot.
ice cream.
I mean,
Dan's so right about this. You have experience.
Yes, of course. I've been poisoned at many a shitty buffet because I just want to eat shitty food. Because I've had too much to drink on a cruise ship.
Eggs on cruises are great. Don't know how they do it.
That can't be true.
It's true.
the best.
Buffet eggs on a cruise. Oh my God, they're perfect.
Jessica, I'd like your thoughts, however, because 3 days or 7 days, okay. Maybe a couple of weeks, although I'd start to get claustrophobic, and I imagine I would get some cabin fever after a couple of weeks. But these cruise trips are now getting longer and longer.
This cruise took off from the port of Miami a week ago, and it will be at sea for 9 months.
What?
I would die.
It's,
I go too hard.
I mean, you could basically like short-term rent out your house for 9 months while you're on this cruise if you stay for the entire thing. It's going around the world. It started in Miami. It's going around South America, the Drake Passage. It's going across the Pacific to New Zealand and then Australia and then China, India, through the Mediterranean and then back to Europe and then back to Miami in 9 months.
I'm just doing the math on that drink package price. Oof.
It was like I think the lowest cost was like $66,000 for 9 months or something like that.
This would have to be something that you're doing only because you want to see the world, right? It's not because you want to live gross for 9 months.
Well, I mean, this cruise you could also buy. You don't have to do the whole 9 months. You can stop on and do like 12 days at a time or whatever, and get like, oh, I want to do the China portion. I want to do this, that. But I believe there's 700 people who are committed to the 9 months.
And how's that going to go? And how are we already there after those things were floating penicillin dishes after and around
Taking trips around the world?
around COVID?
I read that the guy who came up for this, like the executive at this cruise company, thought of it during COVID. He was like, "Oh, all these cruise ships are being like stuck at ports, and people are all stuck on cruises and blah blah blah. What if we did the longest cruise ever and everyone was stuck on it for 9 months?
I love it.
And you saw the
Foresight.
world.
They got 700 people, though, committed.
I wanted to do it.
That's-
I wanted to pitch a show and do a show for Meadowlark where I did the cruise. And I also figured it out where I could do like a 7 seasons of the show, like for whatever the cost was, where I would go the 9 months, I'd do 7 seasons, and each season would be a different continent.
You
so it
love
would be a
cruises.
It would be a 7-season show.
Who loves cruises more, the Codys or the Gills?
I would say tie. I'm not going to let you do this. We like them equally.
Don't tear us apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say I like them the least. I'm not a cruise person.
You've never been on a cruise, have
I've
you?
been on one cruise. I was on the Disney cruise when I was 5.
That's not a cruise.
And I did love it.
Respectfully
But I-
to Disney, that's not a cruise.
I don't think I would do it again. Lehman was on a cruise once with Guy Fieri, and he said it was
Really?
a terrible experience. Not because of Guy Fieri, because the waves were really bad, and they deported from New Jersey, which I wouldn't recommend.
It was a benign question.
There are appropriate times to go on a cruise, though. Like winter's a bad cruise time in the Caribbean. The waves are very, very choppy.
Yeah, that's a pass for me. But I am shocked 700 people signed up for this. And I think, Billy, there are people that signed up for it just because they know that there's a lot of viral potential from going on the cruise and then creating content out of it. Like
Oh, you're
cruise
not even saying
influencers.
viral like viruses.
Well, there's multiple viral opportunities on the cruise.
It's got to be a ton of old
That
people,
clear.
right?
Guys, there's
that's just
viruses
what this
everywhere.
is.
Can't be a lot of
Who
kids,
can do
right?
this besides old people?
I think that the age ranges from 2 years old to 85 years old. People committed to the full 9 months.
I
my
just love a
God.
2-year-old by themselves.
What is it?
on the
Yeah,
cruise.
a 2-year-old like one day is in college and they're like, I've been to every continent.
Well, it's
Oh,
like
I don't remember
Stugotz,
it,
though.
but-
Just a pizza and soft serve all day. It's perfect for a 2-year-old.
Just imagine how difficult it is for that 3-year-old later on to join a preschool and acclimate to life on dry land. They've been a sea person.
Wasn't there
their
a Disney
entire
show?
lives.
Didn't the kids from
Yeah, Sweet Life
yeah
on deck. Yeah,
they like lived on a cruise ship?
They were fine.
Yeah.
There can't be many kids on this, right? I know you said ages 2 to 85, but I would assume this is old people trying to see the world, and also people who have realized that perhaps they can live pretty well if they don't have to pay rent or an apartment for nine months. I'm guessing there is a possibility here where you can be Airbnb your place and make up much of the money and see the world.
There's people that do that. There's people that just hop cruise to cruise. That's where they live, on cruise ships.
Naked and afraid.
I don't want to imagine what it's like being on this cruise for 9 months. Like, there are 700 people on this cruise. You have to imagine that at least a percentage, not a large percentage, but a percentage is going to be cheating on their significant other while they're on the cruise.
At some point,
and then they're going to be
right?
stuck on it
Yeah.
for like 8 more months.
Makes sense.
Right?
Well, you're not stuck on it. You can get off whenever you want.
What's about the most you guys think you could do? Because 9 months sounds too much. I even getting off as much.
I mean, 5 nights is too much.
8. I've done like an 8 night, and that's a lot.
274 nights, 11 world wonders, 60+ countries you're going to visit on this cruise. I mean, if you want to see the world.
And you don't think anyone's
For
going
8
to cheat
hours.
on anyone else during any of this? Come on.
Possibly, maybe.
Chris
I feel
Cody
like that's
has
why
it
some
right,
people
though.
go on cruises.
Chris Cody has it right, though. You want to see the world 8 hours at a time? Like,
Better
just
be back on this boat by 6 p.m. or we are gone.
Sprint off the boat.
You don't really see anything.
That's partially true.
Those are my favorite videos when you see those videos go viral of people who are sprinting to the cruise because
And you hear,
yes, the boat's like leaving and they're like, if you're not on the boat, we're gonna leave your ass. And these people are sprinting down the dock and the boat is slowly leaving and they're like, no.
You really have to be an idiot to miss a cruise ship.
You
though.
have to
like
be.
they make it so easy for you to get back, and they wait. Like they don't leave right when they're supposed to. They wait. They go looking for you on the island.
I like to stay on the boat.
Nah,
When everyone
that's-
gets off the boat, I like to stay on the boat. You get the whole boat to yourself. All the ice cream.
Yeah, but everything's
Cruise is at
closed
the Great Wall of
usually.
China
Oh, the
and
ice cream's
Stugotz is
open.
like, I'll wait. I'm good. I'm gonna get some ice cream.
How about
Relax
Stugotz? I
on a
want you
beach
guys
chair. I
to
mean, it's nice.
listen to Stugotz. Listen, all
the whole
60
boat.
stops, staying on the boat. He would return 640 pounds because it would just have the soft serve to himself. The sad buffet is all that's left because you know why? No people are on the boat. So it's just pizza and ice cream, and Stugotz actively doesn't want to see the world.
Stu, you want to see the Taj Mahal?
Nope.
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 Gonna just stay here with the
I'll
diarrhea
take
soft
sprinkles.
serve.
I was on a cruise with Dan's parents. Now, we didn't schedule it together. They separately, which happened to be on a cruise that I was on. I was at a blackjack table, and 7 hours later, Dan's mom came back. She saw me there at the beginning. 7 hours later, came back, still there.
My mother says, is Stugotz still drunk from how it is that he was drunk over his chips in an empty cruise ship?
Chris Lane knows best.
Who wants to see the whole world? Do you? I mean,
Yes.
do you need to see every country?
Yeah,
really?
I'd like to see more of the world. Yes, Stugotz. I know you've given up.
Also, how is Chris Lee still not in jail?
I know you've given up on
Is he?
life,
Yeah, yeah.
Well, how they making new episodes?
Life. I mean, what are you talking
experiences. They're done growing, Stugotz. It's obvious.
about? Oh, I'm growing.
Yeah, it's
Is he okay? How's Mama?
Mike Ryan. Please have video get for me. I don't understand what happened here.
Dance moms.
Dan, you know there's people on this cruise that are documenting everything, right? And like there's like a whole TikTok of people that are on the cruise showing you the world. But then there's like a subculture of TikTok where it's just people talking about the people they watched on TikTok on the cruise. And those are the videos that I've found. I haven't found the people that are on the cruise yet. I've just found the people talking about the people that they've seen on the cruise.
Because they think they're deviants, or anybody who's going to be somebody who's at sea for 9 months. Anyone who chooses that as a lifestyle is someone. It's good people watching. Is that what you're telling me? Good TikTok people watching?
But how are the kids?
I just haven't found people on the ship. I just know they exist, and I know there's a lot of people watching them, free to talk about what the people on the ship are doing.
Jessica, why are you making faces?
What is Coach O talking about?
Chris Lee knows best.
Coach O, it's time to go to sleep, honey.
You got 2 kids out there, no parents. You got a grandma, sweet, innocent grandma.
You have been here 3 segments. You have said nothing else other than Ed Orgeron watching a menu of
How many episodes of Chris Lee knows best? Is there a finale?
You're not going to do better
What
than
happened to the Chrisleys?
Naked and Afraid. You're not going to do better than that. That's the end of the line.
Chris Lee knows best.
Jessica has made her choice on who it is that she would like to be stuck with on an elevator around here. And she finally said, I wouldn't mind Stu, which suggests she doesn't want to be stuck on an elevator with any of us, but she could tolerate Stugotz the most or tolerate him better than everyone else.
No one wants to be stuck with me either, okay? He vaguely smells of cigarettes, depending on the time of day.
Right.
But I don't think he's going to be so stressed out that I'm going to start panicking on the elevator.
I feel like you'd spend the first, and I don't mean this in a judgy way,
okay.
hour and a
Gonna be
half
judgy.
on the phone without realizing that the elevator is stuck.
You're right. Yeah.
Making deals, trying to
Just like scrolling like,
Hey, are we
what
stuck?
floor are we on? It's like-
Counterpoint, we could listen to like one Grateful Dead song together, and then the hour's up.
Right. No, but that's fair, Billy. 90 minutes before I realize we're actually stuck on the elevator.
No, not you, Jess.
No, me too. I mean, what are you talking about?
I'm going back and forth with whether I'd want to be in there with Billy because he'd be panicked very quickly, but he might also have a lot of snacks in his backpack.
Wait a minute. You didn't go back and forth. You said he was last on your list. You
Well,
said
because I
he
know
was-
just know he would be panicked, and like he said earlier, he'd be trying to climb out. I would just let's keep calm.
There's a good chance that I'd also have like rope to rappel.
Right.
Just on chance because I needed it another time I was rappelling.
I can see the pros and cons to
We're
Billy.
going to go through the bag right now. Hold on a second. We're going to find out together. Hold on, Billy.
This is a
Hold
new
on.
bag. A Coke exploded in my other one,
Nag.
so I don't have as much fun stuff.
Dan, I'm with you. It's funny what happens when the mics turn on because Chris said he's the last person. You're right.
Well, no, I'm being honest with my feelings here. I'm going back and forth on it. Originally, Billy's the last person, but he does keep a lot of stuff because at some point, food's going to become an option.
But what stuff other than snacks? Chris, did you just make your determination based on whether someone is armed with food?
Well, Dan, I mean, we have to at some point. If this turns into 3 days, like we're going to eat each
I
other.
mean, I chose Juju because he'll have weed. I mean, and so will I.
That's totally safe to just
why I also
fog out
chose
that elevator.
The prompt is it's an hour, though, right? Like, it's not indefinite. Because if the answer is indefinite, I'm going to change my
Oh, but you
answer.
don't know. You don't know.
You have no idea. It
You
could be
don't-
an hour, it
you're-
could be
you're-
10.
You're playing.
It's unknown. You're just stuck,
So
and you
it's
don't
just
know
a
how long
mystery
it'll
amount
last.
of time.
Love and
Yes.
hip hop.
Billy, let's see what's in your bag, please.
Well, right now I have a handful of cough drops.
I'm
That,
not-
I mean,
The good stuff. If you guys are Ludens, come on.
Oh, Ludens.
I'm
I've
not
never had
Cherry?
sure.
Salam pause for my bad back.
Why isn't Spike working?
I changed my answer to Lucy.
Where's Spike?
Well, hope Lucy has some Mucinex DM because now you're gonna miss out.
She definitely has, like, gumballs or something. Because
Really?
she lives in her Fuddrucker.
A Rice Krispies
a
treat.
squished Rice Krispie
Well,
treat.
Chris, the
This
weird,
is the weirdest.
the weird-
how long has this been in
the
here?
weird
Look how
thing-
thin it is.
the odd thing about the
Cougar Town.
the contents of that bag is it could be that of an 80-year-old or a 4-year-old.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going in with Billy.
I have notes from the God Bless Football Monday episode when Jimbo Fisher was fired.
Nice.
Yeah.
Stugotz was very worried about his upcoming Austin Eckler interview. He was preparing for it. I didn't know
Why?
what to do. He didn't know what to ask him. He's caring about his feelings. His coach has been fired. Is he embarrassed? They quit.
Well, no, there are tough questions to be asked, but I don't do it in a delicate way. Dan does because he has a heart and he has feelings and he cares about people. And so I was just asking Dan for some advice as to how to ask certain questions. And he gave me good advice.
He's doing prep.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I don't recognize it. I'm confused by it. Billy, have we rummaged through the end of the contents of your bag? Because not a lot of helpful elevator stuff there. There's not a rope. There's not an
got
ability.
Mucinex, though.
I mean, I could fashion some things if I needed to. I have a charging cable that I could use into,
I just
something.
realized that, Dan, you're the person I'd want to be with. You're the most important. Like, people would be panicked if you were in an elevator.
That is
Trying to
probably
get you
true.
out,
If
right?
you were stuck, they'd rush to get
But do
you
we have
out.
Wi-Fi though? Do we have the ability to get out? Do we have the ability to call people?
We could at least use that thing and, like, the button. We push the button, and
Dan
they're like,
Lebatard's on this elevator.
Dan is
Come
in here.
quick.
People would notice you missing before they'd notice us missing.
He's already sweating.
Right. There would be an urgency. You're right.
You guys, he's
Yeah.
thinking about eating me. We don't have snacks.
Rizzoli and Isles.
Do we have a phone on elevators? You guys are telling me that's been
It's
discontinued.
not an actual
just a
phone.
button?
It's a button, and then someone, I assume, will be like, hello, what's the problem? Can I save you?
assume that, but I don't. I have found that in general, customer service is one of the first things that went with the pandemic. No one's answering their phones on anything. I can't get anyone on the phone to help me with anything.
You just start pressing 0. It's
The-
like, Dan,
there's-
this is not a phone.
You guys think that the elevator works? The elevator communication
numbers
works?
on the different floors. like Dan.
Yes.
9,
When this
Yeah,
starts
911.
going again, we're not going to
That's
stop,
right. That's
buddy.
right. 911 is what I would be dialing. 9 and 11. And the 9th floor and the 11th floor. I just keep hitting it.
and Dan's like, no, it's lit. We're going to go there.
Sean
911
McDermott's ears
Lone
just
Star.
perked up.
The one with Rob Lowe.
Get me, Mike.
Stop it, Coach O.
Yes,
Enough.
enough. Okay, Mike. It's been 2.5 segments too long. Stop it. Just stop.
Lone Star.
Please stop. You
Law-abiding citizen.
you have done nothing.
Starring Jamie Foxx.
And Gerard Butler. Now, I like that movie.
It's a great movie. Great twist.
I don't think it's a great movie. I just said I like that movie. Great? No.
Guys,
What-
I didn't even consider this because I just looked up a list of what to do if you get stuck in an elevator.
Yeah.
And number 2 on this list is find a light source if the elevator is dark. So you could be in a situation where you're in a dark elevator.
It'd be kind of relaxing.
Me and
No
Juju, huh?
way.
Wake me up in this
Relaxing?
like darkness. Let me just.
Now, put it on the poll, Juju. Is it relaxing on a dark stuck elevator?
I'll just be like, hey, shut up in here. Let's relax. Let's take advantage of this. I don't get quiet a lot.
Stugotz, I've been wanting to get to this video since last week.
Jim Caviezel.
Since last week, I've been trying to get to, I think it's the halftime of a Milwaukee basketball game. I'm not sure, but it's the in-game entertainment.
Right.
And I want you to watch this video here with me. There is a gentleman in a tie. Is that does he work in is that military or is that an airline attendant of some sort? Because
It's a big difference.
I know, but I can't tell from the uniform.
That ball looks slick. Come on, we're doing our man dirty here.
No, wait a minute, though. Come on, Chris. I've never seen someone be this bad at basketball. Like, that is just real and genuine panic.
Maybe he was given bad direction. It's like throw the ball into the tunnel by the hoop. And if that was what he was instructed to do,
These are layups.
That is how you're supposed to dribble a basketball, though.
Is that your theory, Chris?
Exactly how.
he failed at that. Even it didn't go far
That's
enough.
how Havlicek stole the ball right
It's
there.
exactly how you dribble the
someone
ball.
dribbling
I'm
like
always
that.
on the top.
Honda.
I mean, he's wearing
It's
dress
actually
shoes.
pretty good fundamentals.
Bad spot we put this guy in.
Yeah.
It is a bad spot. Is this
Trying to help my man out
is
here.
This is a military person.
Been a rough week for this guy.
I mean, this could be a military person, but I'm working off of limited information. It could also be a flight attendant.
Right.
I'm torn between the two. I want to say thank you for your service, but I also
well, if
mean,
it's a
they're-
flight
they're-
attendant, thank you for your service as
Yeah,
well.
I think that
Yes.
covers you. I think it's the same.
You're right. You're right. One of you, protects freedom in our country. The other one brings me, snacks.
Beat Shazam.
I saw a good stat yesterday, Stugotz. I don't know what it is that you think should be happening on onside kicks,
Right.
but the Washington Commanders tried one yesterday at the end of that game as they feverishly tried to get the backdoor cover.
Oh, boy. Jacoby Brissett.
And the Washington Commanders have not recovered an onside kick since 2015. You know how many games they've trailed in those 8 years? Like, they're always behind. They're always panicked. Like, those are really bad odds on recovering an onside kick when you haven't recovered one in 8 years of Daniel Snyder's reign.
They've been kicking those things consistently for the last 9
Not
years. You're
getting
right.
any better at them.
I'm surprised there's not a different strategy at this point. Like someone just do something wacky.
Something new.
It's not working the way you're doing it. Like, so just find a way to like pooch punt it or something. I don't know. Pooch kick
It's
it.
a kickoff. You can't do that.
I'm just surprised that there's not more creative hacks.
Are you surprised that it's been since 2015 since they recovered an onside kick?
That is a long time.
Stugotz, has today
Well,
been...
how many kicks? I mean, we need to know that, right? Like, how many attempts at the onside kick?
Do we need to know that?
I mean, to his point, if it's only 17.
Right.
It's since 2015. They're always trailing at the
I
end
know
of games.
it feels like a lot, but maybe it's not. That's all I'm saying.
And perhaps it's not, but it's 8 years worth of they're usually behind.
I'm looking it up.
Ron Rivera, Riverboat Ron. You remember when he was crazy for going for it on fourth down? Now look at him. How's the whole Eric Bieniemy thing working? They seem to miss him in Kansas City, but he's not helping in Washington.
That's odd.
Yeah.
Right. And let's give him a job too, right? No. Felt a beginnings of a groundswell. No.
Yes.
All right.
What happened to his
The
voice?
Bieniemy.
I don't know.
Interviews.
Yes.
The rule.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
varying degrees of success.
That's correct.
Moving on. Did you get my Gutfield note? Gutfeld! Exclamation point. The 5.
I believe, Dan, for every 70 onside kicks, 9 are successful.
Neil Cavuto.
Why would you make that up that way?
I didn't make it up. I mean, I looked it up.
What is your source?
OnsideKicks.com.
It wouldn't like that's strange odds you're using there of every 70.
Seems high.
9. No, it's just it seems like bad math from you. Like it seems like you could have gotten some factors there.
Well, look it up.
You could have. Thank you. I think you look how proud he is of the work he's done. He's rummaged around in his pocket. He's taking sips of water.
Did you guys see who's going to be on the Manning cast tonight?
No.
Mina.
Really? Nice.
Mina's a guest on the Manning cast.
That's awesome.
Pretty excited about this one.
What is the story of the day today in football? Is it just laughing
Jared
at the
Parker is getting hired at
Cowboys?
Troy, the Notre Dame offensive
That is not the story of the day.
Okay.
It's the Cowboys losing day.
It's just
I just tracked
Cowboys
his
losing.
flight.
It's kind of the Bills being back too, I'd say. Like people are now
So
scared
just
of
the
the Bills
one
again.
good game, the one late game.
That was a bad game. Yeah.
No, but it's a bad game, but it's among teams you know to be good.
Yes.
Everyone
We
else,
think.
like one of the things Stugotz was saying.
One of those teams is
look,
not in the
Look at some
playoffs.
of the playoff quarterbacks. Yes. Hey, do you realize how good the Browns might be if that whole Deshaun Watson thing had been good money spent? They're 9-5.
Oh, they are?
But, Mike, in the AFC, you have the Ravens. Their quarterback is healthy. The Dolphins' quarterback is healthy, which should be the biggest story of the year. Chiefs' quarterback is healthy. Jaguars' quarterback is healthy.
Yeah.
The drop-off from the division winners to the wild card teams.
Yeah.
So you have 4
It's almost
elite
like we
great.
explored that earlier in the show.
It's unbelievable. But Joe Flacco, Gardner Minshew.
Would like to circle back to 2 broke girls. Are there more broke girls?
I have found that Stugotz, by the end of Monday after God Bless Football, he has very little in the tank like Cody.
Perhaps 3 broke girls.
Well, you said something that I said, and I was trying to hammer home the point. That's all I was trying to do there.
But we've covered that part already.
Yeah, but you brought it up again.
that chef is a bit pushy.
I did not bring it up through the same prism of talking about the same things about whether the quarterbacks are healthy.
Is there anything Jennifer Coolidge can't do?
Apology.
No.